Good afternoon, and thank you. I want to thank, I believe, Ben from the Office of Regulatory Staff, and also Mr. Johnson with the Motor Carrier Integrity Student Transportation Services LLC, and your amended name would be Legacy Student Transport LLC in docket number 2013-272T. Thank y'all for being here for a status conference. Mr. Johnson, it looks like on November 6, 2024, just about maybe a week or so ago, you had filed a request to amend your certificate name because you currently have a Class C charter bus certificate, which I believe is number 0346. And you had requested to change the name from Integrity Student Transportation Services LLC to Legacy Student Transport LLC. But whenever we're looking at the docket, we also noticed that back a little over a year ago, almost 2 years, a year and 3/4 ago, it looks like, your company had also sent a request on January 9th, 2023, which was granted on January 26, 2023 by Directive Order 2023-56, 2023-56 to change your name, make that same request, that same certificate. Does that sound correct, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Ben, wanted to ask you, is there, I guess there is a question of whether or not the certificate was amended.
So here is what I understand
Okay.
happened is that so when the order last year or whenever it was came in, we needed an updated insurance certificate reflecting that new name. I don't believe we ever received that, and then that coincided with some personnel changes in the transportation office, and so I think because we never received the certificate, it should have made its way onto our last rescission letter to rescind that order, but that did not happen. So kind of where we are now is we would still need to get an updated insurance certificate showing compliance so that we could issue the new certificate. I think what would probably be the most expedient is if the commission were willing to grant his request again, and then that would essentially supersede the 2023 order. We wouldn't have to worry about the rescission piece of that, and then if he can get us an updated insurance certificate, then we can issue the new certificate in the new name. Does that make sense? At least as far as what I've explained, what I think happened on our end.
Hold on one second. Y'all, I'm back. Ben, I was asked you a question. Is there any reason why the company, since we've already got an existing commission order, the problem is the existing commission order that was issued back on January 26, 2023, and since it has no expiration date, is there any reason why Mr. Johnson, on behalf of the company, can just go ahead and submit the updated certificate showing updated insurance information with the new underneath the new name? And that way the commission wouldn't even have to take it back up again. And we could just go ahead and, basically deal with the second request via shot or something dismissing it. Or Mr. Johnson could withdraw it.
I mean, probably not. I think kind of what the wrinkle is that, if that name change was in fact which I realize from a legal perspective it was, but if that has been the legal name for the last year, but then there hasn't been insurance carried in that name, that presents a little bit of a wrinkle. I think I could probably get my folks to work through that. But I think that's kind of what the hang up would be is it effectively, arguably, whether or not there had been insurance in place for the last year.
Well, let's ask Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, have you had insurance in place?
No, we haven't been operating.
Oh, you haven't been operating at all. Okay.
Yes.
Got you. Well,
yes. Basically, oh, I'm sorry.
Y'all haven't been operating underneath your existing certificate?
That is correct.
So when you asked for the name change back in January 2023, y'all were not operating at that time?
We're not operating, no.
And you're currently not operating?
Currently not operating. So we're in the process of starting back up. And when I reviewed the order, there was some language in that order that said that if this wasn't submitted within 90 days, that it would automatically be rescinded. So I reached out to ORS and I was told to resubmit the request.
Okay.
And I am sure that is a conversation he had with my folks, but I don't know. I'm not aware of that. So.
Okay. Well, Ben, that's what Mr. Johnson and Ben, Mr. Mushton, that's what we'll do. Mr. Johnson, since you submitted a new request, what we're going to do with regard to it, it looks like is the prior order is going to have to be rescinded since it was outside the 90 days or addressed in some way since it's been outside the 90 days. And the matter will be placed on an upcoming agenda so that you can amend your certificate name. Now, Ben, is there anything else that needs to be addressed with this?
So, Joanne, can you just hang on 1 second? Thomas McGill
yes.
Just stepped in. Let me just make sure I've got everything. Hey, Joanne. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. If y'all would reapprove the name change, and then once that happens, once we get the insurance certificate in the new name, then that's all we would.
Okay. And Ben, to your knowledge, since you've got Thomas right there, it still is certificate number 346, right?
Yes, that would not change. Correct.
All right. All right. Well, Mr. Johnson, don't forget that once this is done, to go ahead and proceed to provide updated information as needed by the Office of Regulatory Staff so your certificate can be in place. And of course, if you happen to need an extension of time, please don't forget to make that request within the 90 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We won't have this happen again.
Oh, well, that's fine. Trust me, it happened. I'm sure it happens all the time. So no big deal. We got all straightened out. It was just that we noticed there were 2 requests, and it was just odd that you had a request and it was granted, and then another request. Okay. All right.
No problem.
There being no further information or no further questions, or anybody's got any comments, thank you so much to Mr. Johnson, and also to Mr. Mushkin from the Office of Regulatory Staff for being available this afternoon so we can get this resolved and everybody on their way and up and running and making money, hopefully.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very
Thank you all.
much.
Appreciate it.